In 1972, a movie changed cinema forever. It made us an offer we couldn't refuse. The Godfather became more than just a film. It became a cultural phenomenon. But what happened to the actors who brought this masterpiece to life? Some became Hollywood legends, others faced tragedy, and a few, well, their transformations will absolutely shock you. Today, we're diving into the incredible journeys of the Godfather cast from 1972 to 2026. Trust me, you won't believe what happened to some of them. Let's get started. The Godfather premiered on March 24, 1972, and immediately became a phenomenon. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, this crime drama told the story of the powerful Corleone family and their rise in organized crime. With a budget of just $6 million, it went on to earn over $250 million worldwide, becoming the highest-grossing film of 1972. But the real magic? The cast. Marlon Brando's iconic performance as Vito Corleone, Al Pacino's transformation from reluctant son to ruthless Don. The chemistry between every single actor was electric. The film won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and created a legacy that still influences movies today. It's consistently ranked as one of the greatest films ever made. But while the movie remains timeless, the people behind it have lived full, sometimes shocking lives. So let's see what happened to the stars who made cinematic history. Marlon Brando, Vito Corleone. Let's start with the legend himself, Marlon Brando, who played Don Vito Corleone, the powerful patriarch of the Corleone family. Then, in 1972, Brando was 48 years old and already a Hollywood icon. His portrayal of Vito Corleone, with that raspy voice and stuffed cheeks, became one of cinema's most memorable performances. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor, though he famously refused it in protest of Hollywood's treatment of Native Americans, a moment that shocked the world. Now, sadly, Marlon Brando passed away on July 1, 2004 at the age of 80. He left behind an extraordinary legacy and a complicated personal life. At the time of his death, his estate was valued at around $100 million, though legal battles over his fortune continued for years. Fun fact, Brando didn't memorize his lines for The Godfather. He read them off cue cards hidden around the set, and those famous puffy cheeks? He stuffed cotton balls in his mouth to create that look. Pure genius. Al Pacino, Michael Corleone. Next up is Al Pacino, who played Michael Corleone, the reluctant son who becomes the most ruthless Don of them all. Then, in 1972, Pacino was just 32 years old and relatively unknown. The Godfather was only his second major film role, but his performance was absolutely mesmerizing. He transformed from a war hero who wanted nothing to do with the family business into a cold, calculating mob boss. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, launching one of the greatest careers in Hollywood history. Now, in 2026, Al Pacino is 85 years old and still going strong. He's had an incredible career spanning over 5 decades, with iconic roles in Scarface, Heat, and Scent of a Woman, for which he finally won an Oscar. His current net worth is estimated at around $120 million. Fun fact, Pacino was so unknown that studio executives didn't want him for the role. They wanted a bigger star. Coppola fought hard for him, and even during filming, the studio tried to replace him. Imagine The Godfather without Al Pacino. Thank goodness Coppola stood his ground. James Caan, Sonny Corleone. James Caan played Sonny Corleone, the hot-headed eldest son whose violent temper ultimately leads to his tragic death. Then, in 1972, Caan was 32 years old, the same age as Pacino. His explosive performance as Sonny was unforgettable. The rage, the passion, the loyalty, that brutal death scene at the toll booth, still one of the most shocking moments in cinema. He was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Now, tragically, James Caan passed away on July 6, 2022 at the age of 82. He continued acting right up until his death, with memorable roles in Misery, Elf, and many other films. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at around $20 million. Fun fact, that famous toll booth scene used over 100 squibs, tiny explosive devices, to simulate bullets. Caan had to wear protective padding under his clothes. The scene took 3 days to film and used 147 bullet hits. It's still considered one of the most violent death scenes ever filmed. Robert Duvall, Tom Hagen. Robert Duvall played Tom Hagen, the loyal consigliere and adopted son of the Corleone family. Then, Duvall was 41 years old in 1972. His calm, measured performance as the family's lawyer and advisor provided the perfect counterbalance to the more volatile characters. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, cementing his reputation as one of Hollywood's finest character actors. Now, in 2026, Robert Duvall is an impressive 95 years old. He's still alive and has had one of the most respected careers in Hollywood, winning an Oscar for Tender Mercies and earning 6 more nominations. He's appeared in over 100 films and continues to be revered in the industry. His net worth is estimated at around $70 million. Fun fact, Duvall and Brando became close friends during filming. Brando once said Duvall was one of the finest actors he'd ever worked with. Duvall actually studied at the same acting school as Dustin Hoffman and Gene Hackman. Talk about a legendary class. Diane Keaton, Kay Adams. And finally, Diane Keaton, who played Kay Adams, Michael's girlfriend who slowly realizes she's married into a dangerous world. Then, in 1972, Keaton was just 26 years old, and The Godfather was one of her first major film roles. Her performance as the outsider looking into the dark world of the Corleones was heartbreaking and powerful. She represented innocence and morality in a world of corruption. Now, in 2026, Diane Keaton is 80 years old and has had an absolutely incredible career. She won an Oscar for Annie Hall, became a fashion icon, and starred in countless beloved films from Something's Gotta Give to The First Wives Club. She's also a successful photographer and author. Her net worth is estimated at around $100 million. Fun fact, Keaton and Al Pacino actually dated in real life during and after filming The Godfather. Their on-screen chemistry was real. They remained close friends throughout their lives, and Pacino has said she's one of the most talented people he's ever worked with. Now let's talk about some absolutely wild behind-the-scenes facts that'll blow your mind. Fact number 1, the cat in the opening scene, the one Don Vito is holding during the wedding, that wasn't in the script. Coppola found a stray cat wandering around the studio lot and just handed it to Brando. The cat purred so loudly that some of Brando's dialogue had to be re-recorded later. That's improvisation at its finest. Fact number 2, the movie was actually protested by Italian-American groups who felt it perpetuated negative stereotypes. The production faced real threats from actual organized crime figures. The producer received warnings, and the word mafia was removed from the script entirely to ease tensions. The danger was very real. Fact number 3, the horsehead scene, that was a real horsehead. They got it from a dog food factory. The actor John Marley had no idea it was real. His screams of horror were completely genuine. Can you imagine waking up to that? Fact number 4, Paramount Pictures almost didn't make this movie. They were on the verge of bankruptcy and thought a mob movie wouldn't succeed. They kept the budget incredibly tight. Coppola had to fight for almost every creative decision. Imagine if they'd canceled it. Fact number 5, the wedding scene at the beginning took 6 days to film and used real Italian extras who were told to bring authentic Italian food. It created a real party atmosphere that you can feel in the movie. Many of those extras were actual Italian immigrants who brought their family recipes. The Godfather wasn't just a movie, it was lightning in a bottle. Everything came together perfectly, despite all the behind-the-scenes chaos. But let's talk about the most shocking transformations. Al Pacino went from an unknown actor that nobody wanted to one of the greatest living actors with a net worth of $120 million and a career that's still going strong at 85. Absolutely incredible. Diane Keaton went from a shy newcomer to an Oscar winner, fashion icon, and multi-millionaire who redefined what it meant to be a leading lady in Hollywood. Robert Duvall, at 95, is proof that talent and dedication create longevity. He's outlived most of his co-stars and remains respected and beloved. But perhaps the saddest transformation, both Brando and Caan are gone now, reminding us that even legends are mortal. Brando, who seemed larger than life, struggled with personal demons despite his success. Caan continued acting into his 80s, never losing his passion. The Godfather cast showed us that success in Hollywood doesn't follow one path. Some became megastars, others lived quieter lives, but every single one of them created something that will last forever. So there you have it, the Godfather cast, then and now. From unknown actors to legends, from 1972 to 2026, their journeys have been absolutely incredible. Now I want to hear from you. Which cast member's transformation surprised you the most? Did you know about the real horsehead? And here's the big question. Do you think The Godfather is still the greatest movie ever made? Or has something else taken its place? Drop your answers in the comments below.